Hello everybody, welcome to the Mangalao, Guam for FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers Game Day 3, Group A, the battle between Guam and Australia. Philippines going up against New Zealand also today. And then on March 1st, Guam will go up against New Zealand and Philippines will host Australia. Here are the standings in Group A. Philippines, Australia for the top at 2-0. New Zealand after a couple of tough losses, narrow losses to Australia at 0-2, and Guam down at the bottom at 0-2. And a lot of things to talk about this game. As David and Goliath go, this is about as big a Goliath and the smallest David as you can have in the qualifiers. First time these two teams have met, and it is going to be an interesting day to see some of these Australian players come out and see them go really hard at this Guam team that made history last year by first qualifying and playing at the FIBA Asia Cup in Jeddah, and what a spectacular event that was. But then they won against Syria. So this Australia team, which did win that competition last summer and did so, they know that they are big favorites against this Guam team, but a Guam team that is trying to put itself on the map, and they really are when you consider the size of the country or the size of this U.S. territory, and also this country has nowhere near the depth of Australia. They're scrapping away, finding players, and really, I think, doing themselves proud. Isaiah Africano's come out, Mark Johnson, Jonathan Galloway, BJ Freeman, Michael Sakizaki, Darren Echanova, then Borja, Takumi Simon. He had some big moments at the FIBA Asia Cup. There is no Ernest Ross in this game. Matthew Fergerer, Jericho Cruz, and also there's no Ty Wesley, so you're missing two of the big points getters for this Guam team from the past. Ty Wesley, of course, the biggest name of all, but they can't play forever, and maybe that next generation of Guam stars sitting there in the stands going to watch them go up against this Australia team, the three-time defending champions of Asia, and we'll talk about their lineup in just a second. Well, the national anthem's played. John Riley on the left from Australia, international, going up, shaking the hands of E.J. Calvo, the head coach of Guam, and certainly one of the faces of Guam. It's good to see him walking around. He was injured, had suffered an injury, couldn't walk when he was at the Asia Cup. And the referees for this game, Takaki Kato, Zhang Zhao, and Chuang Chi-chun from Chinese Taipei, Zhang from China, and Takumi Sato from Japan. And we'll also get a look at the rosters. We talk about Australia. I mean, they could just trot out so many different teams. They are the powerhouse of Asia. They've won all of the Asia Cups. They want to take that to a different level on the World Cup stage as well as the Olympic stage. But Tom Wilson back with the Boomers. Sam Froling, Nick Kay, Tanner Krebs, Elijah Pepper. Kay, the captain of this team. Sam Froling back after a long injury layoff. Jack White, Rain Smith. And you gotta love Statman. He's gonna perhaps get some big stats today. Tanner Krebs, Jacob Holt, Elijah Pepper, Cody Statman. Maybe get a triple-double. And for Guam, they're gonna go up against a team that they know that Coach Riley was a really good player back in the day. And Australia team that doesn't really do you any favors. They get after you on defense. They beat you on the boards. It's going to be a mammoth task and then some for Guam to stay in this one. Joe Blass, BJ Freeman, Jonathan Galloway, Ben Borja, and Jericho Cruz in the starting five for Guam. Africano, Johnson, Sakazaki, Hechinova, Takumi, and Ferger are coming off the bench. And I guess Takumi Simon is going to be a big player for E.J. Calvo's team. So for Australia, they know that if they win this game, they will definitely have a spot in the second round. So as permutations go, that is the situation for them, and it's going to take something special for this Guam team to prevent that from happening. But they love their basketball here in Guam, and there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement about the team that made it to Jeddah and had that famous win over Syria. So really everything moving in the right direction for Guam. It just so happens that along the path to relevance, you have to go up against the best in the business. And I think really, you talk about Australia, the way they beat New Zealand in the last window, a couple of close games. They are definitely the best right now in Asia since joining the Asian competitions along with New Zealand, along with Guam back in 2017 when we had the new competition system. And again, it's good to see Tom Wilson play for Australia's youth teams under 17 FIBA Basketball World Cup along with Jack White. They were in that team that played in Dubai. Then went to SMU, then ended up moving into Aussie Rules football, which surprised me so much that he was a really good basketball player. And Aussie Rules is a really popular sport down under. And it's good to see Tom playing for the Boomers. Certainly has a lot to offer this team. And just making the Boomers roster for the qualifiers is a huge honor, and you've seen the qualifiers, players have been able to elevate their stature in the game and end up making the team when Australia plays at World Cups or at FIBA Basketball World Cups or at Olympic Games. Nick Kay, perhaps the best example of that. Well, everybody, we are underway here in Guam. Guam taking on Australia. The green and gold winning the opening tip and attacking the basket to the left on your screen and driving in and missing Nick Kay, but the offensive rebound. They swing it, they get it to the corner, and Elijah Pepper misses that one, but another offensive rebound. Here's a little bit of Pepper, and Pepper misses again. So here comes Guam and Jericho Cruz. One of the more senior players. We talked about Wesley and Ross, but Cruz right up there as well. DJ Freeman puts it up from behind the stripe. Nice shot, nice stroke. There's a three-point shot off target by Krebs, but another offensive rebound. 4 offensive rebounds already for Australia. And swing, a nice look, and Wilson gets it up, and it goes off the iron and out. Here goes Freeman again. Galloway back outside. Freeman this time off target. And mishandle, turning it over. Pepper, chance to go in transition. Australia get back, however, and Guam are going to set it up. Blass is going to miss from deep. And one of the challenges of this Guam team is to be able to rebound against a great team like Australia. Good defense from Jonathan Galloway. Galloway, one of those players that competed in college basketball in America. Obviously, he's had a long pro career as well, all over the place, including in Europe. Here's a pass, and finally, the three-pointer goes, and it's kind of Krebs. Cruz leans in, passes, and Galloway fouled, pushed by Froling. Here's Freeman, he's already got one bucket. To the base. Oh, nice move from Freeman. He misses. He follows it up, misses again, and he'll be disappointed he wasn't able to knock that one down. You see, he's got some game. Here's the drive and the bucket for Freeman. Excuse me, for Froling. Jericho Cruz, his pass intended for Galloway, is batted away on the break. Australia get to the corner. It's Elijah Pepper missing that one. And now Freeman again. Gets to the baseline, takes a nudge from Wilson. Outside it goes, and another long miss, but a long, oh, nice bounce pass. Oh, nice. That would have been sweet from Cruz if he'd been able to make it. A little bit of panache on that miss, and a wide open miss from Tanner Krebs, and now the turnover a little sloppy. Whistle blows. Referees want to have the ball inbounded again. That's behind the back. And Simon knocks it down. So Smith, Wilson, Kay, Krebs, Holt. And now the turnover. Here's Freeman in the open floor, lays it up and in, and Guam have taken the lead. And Smith, he can shoot it. You got to guard him. Here's Wilson getting it up and gets the nice friendly roll. Seven apiece here, nearing the midway point of this first quarter. Cruz, bounce pass. Galloway missing with a little short shot right in the lane. About 1.5 meters behind the arc, and Australia go up 10-7. Krebs. Freeman, nice hooping and scooping for him. He has definitely added some quality to this team. First time. Down low it goes, and the miss, and Freeman with the rebound. Here he goes again, nice spin. Oh, and he's bumped, and the foul. BJ Freeman, again, one of those players with college basketball experience. Actually hails just through his connections, familial connections, he's able to play with this Guam team. Salem, born in Selma, North Carolina. Played at Milwaukee. Also played at Arizona State. Darren Hutchinova in the game, number 22, able to get rid of it. Simon gets it to Galloway. He puts it up, he gets blocked. Little turnaround, blocked by Kay. Now Jack White up the floor. The stat man. Now they pass it around. Smith. And good job, Galloway. Jack Smith, he misses. Smith, a member of the Asia Cup title winning team last year in Saudi Arabia. Aaron Hutchinova gets it down low. Galloway going for it. And now it's Rain Smith. And getting it up from a long way out. The put back. And again, another chance for Guam. Well, Johnson hands it off to Freeman. He doesn't hesitate. He knocks it down. Well, to call him a major addition would be the understatement of the century. BJ Freeman bringing some badly needed talent and experience to this team. He is going for the steal. I'm sure EJ Calvo will want him on the court for 40 minutes if he can do it. Has that ability to create his own shot. Nick Kay goes out. Kay playing professionally in the B-League, and we've got a timeout on the court. So Guam, again, just as a reminder, they've lost their first 2 games, but they only qualified for the FIBA Asia Cup for the first time last year, so that was a huge moment for Guam basketball.
This game is about physicality and grabbing the rebounds. You cannot get 2-3 chances every time. Let's go. Let's get physical. One and done. Guards, help rebound. John's pushing a guy. Mark, push that guy. Guys, help rebound. Okay, offense will be okay. All right, let's go cross action. Work that zoom. Zoom with the wings.
I'll start it off. I'll zoom to 20-yard go.
All right.
And with this, let me cross from there.
Transition defense. Rebounding. That's it. All game. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Come on. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Work. Wait, baby. Come on.
Well, there's a lot to like about this start for Guam today. I mean, obviously it's very early, and Australia will pick up the intensity. You would imagine. You can see that Calvo talking about the need to crash the boards as well. Smith inbounds it. Down low, nice little spin. Jacob Holt off target. Freeman again, up the top of the key. Galloway. Freeman gets open. And it goes, and the nice layup from Sam Froling ties the game. Bucket for Guam. Simon, again, one of those guys that can provide some scoring. White, former Duke Blue Devil, missing, but there's Froling with the rebound, and then he's fouled by Galloway. Makes the first. And the second. Freeman plays professionally in Jordan. Here he is going in and puts it up and in. Well, Australia have the stat man in their team, but the guy that's going to be putting up some big-time stats today is probably going to be Freeman. There's a foul down low. So Hechanova is going to head over to the bench. Jericho Cruz back in the game. And the pass deflected out of bounds, so it'll stay at this end. Well, one of the challenges for teams, you know, Australia do shake up their roster quite a bit for different windows, so you got to get that rhythm, you got to get that chemistry. And you're going, you know, you're playing away from home against a team that basically adds a player like Freeman that can come out and make things interesting for you, keep you close. Here's a nice block by Freeman. It'll stay at this end. But as far as I'm concerned, at least in this day, this opener, Freeman is the revelation of the FIBA Asia, of the Asian qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup in this window. He's been fun to watch. And Galloway with the rebound, hands it off to Freeman. Takumi Simon. It'll help if Simon can continue to provide some points. Here he is again. The only problem with that shot is you're not really getting a lot of ball movement and making Australia work on defense. Australia spreading the court. Here's Froling. Froling taking it deep. And the whistle. Excuse me, that is, yeah, Sam Froling going to the line. Froling was in that Asia Cup lineup that won the Asia Cup in Indonesia a few years back. Here he is missing the first. Really looking on from the side. Playing a lot of big games. Played at the Olympics in 2004. Cruz, and an offensive foul. I think that was a moving screen on Ben Borja. So Matthew Furgerer comes into the game. He's big, he's young, and he has a very tough assignment guarding Froling. Statman looks for space. Nice bounce pass by Statman, and nice finish. Froling ties the game. Final shot of the quarter. Simon gets it up. Good D right at the end by Statman. So 1 quarter in the books, and Guam have certainly given Guam fans much to be excited about. The game is tied at 17 apiece between Guam and Australia. Those are the early numbers. Australia 2 of 11 from deep. That's part of their issue. 3 of 7 for Guam. And yeah, Australia's shooting percentages will get better, I would imagine, as this game goes along. Well, here, let's look at the first quarter best plays. And Takumi Simon coming off the bench, knocking down that jumper. This was good defense, a little bit of sloppiness by Australia, and DJ Freeman flying in for the layup. Australia, though, Krebs knocking down the 3. Freeman again sailing in. Here he is launching it from downtown. Froling also rolling to the basket and scoring. Well, courtside 1891. You can scan in the QR code. Get that in your smartphone. Get to watch extended highlights, live streams, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. Okay, let's see if Australia pick up the intensity, especially on defense. Jericho Cruz leans in, gets the bucket. To 17. This definitely has a feel, if you've ever watched the NCAA tournament in America, kind of a March Madness feel to it. There's Sam Froling getting another bucket. Jericho Cruz. I mean, anything is possible over 40 minutes. Never look past an opponent. I'm not suggesting that Australia have, but I think Guam probably have raised a few eyebrows over there on that Australia bench just by the mere sake that they're knotted right now early in the second quarter. Like Galloway, fortunate to get out of that. Wasn't able to catch it cleanly. Basketball inbounded to B.J. Freeman. There's the double, he turns, shares it to Kumi Simon, open. That's not a bad result for Guam in terms of getting the shot. Simon just has to make it. Tanner Krebs passes back outside, and a three-point shot is good for the Boomers. Elijah Pepper showing that range, putting Australia back up 22-19. Cruz calling the play. You'd imagine they want to give Freeman a touch here. He's going to drive all the way in. Nope, he gets it up. I mean, he can't be all Freeman, obviously. But, oh, a nice little Euro step. Tanner Krebs looking like he plays on the old continent. 8 points now for Tanner Krebs. And an opening for Fregerger, and he gets it up and in. Fregerger getting his first bucket, 24-21. Australia picking up the pace and taking care of business on the glass this time. B.J. Freeman. Elijah Pepper guarding him. Hands it off to Cruz, gets it back, lets it fly, gets it to go down, and we are knotted at 24. And the revelation of the Asian qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup, Freeman now has 14 points, and we're not even 13 minutes into the contest. Tom Wilson back in, shares it. Australia moving and getting a wide open layup reverse for Elijah Pepper. Freeman again drives in and gets the foul call. So 2 free throws for Freeman. Here's B.J. Freeman. Steps up to the line. Misses the shot. Galloway goes for it, so not a good trip down the court that time. Here's a three-point shot, no good. Offensive rebound, Freeman has it knocked out of his hands, Froling rather, by Guam. They'll keep it at this end. Down low goes, Froling misses. Fregerger comes down with the rebound. Good work on the glass by Galloway. And again, Freeman Freeman goes in, passes it back outside unselfishly. Cruz drives in, There's Freeman going for, or Galloway going for the rebound. Guam have it again. Freeman thinking he might chuck this up. No, he's going to drive in. Misses. Ferger with another rebound. Cruz has it. Cruz for three. And it's Guam that take the lead. And look at the crowd. They're loving it. This is what makes national team basketball so exciting. Everybody comes out to the arena. And these Guam fans proud of the effort that their team has right now. And you got to say, the good play, the talent of Freeman seems to be rubbing off on all the teammates. Obviously, Cruz has played at a high level. So those two guys bringing a lot of punch to this lineup. And then you got the other guys like Galloway working hard on the glass, Ferger coming off the bench working hard on the glass. You've had Takumi Simon. Just being quiet because I didn't anticipate us being able to hear the coach, but you can't hear really. Again, folks, scanning the QR code to get courtside 1891 so you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and these Guam fans, I'm not sure what their expectations were coming out for this game, but I think word is probably traveling fast throughout this country that Guam have come out and really given the Boomers a game here in the first 14 minutes. Now, without a doubt, Australia can turn it up a notch, and we keep waiting for that to happen, but Guam playing with some confidence, with some chutzpah. Here's Froling. Guarded by Borja. Lizzie gets it back, puts it up, misses, and then Galloway not able to rebound it. It'll stay at this end. Sure, Ty Wesley must be watching this back home thinking, gosh, I wish I was there in that lineup. Here is good defense, and Pepper this time missing with the reverse layup. Maybe not what Australia were looking for. Cruz zips the pass over to Blas. Blas goes in, brings it back out, now puts it up, and this is from a long way out. Wilson strokes the three-pointer, puts the Boomers back in front. Well, that was a lob. Galloway brought it down. Nice fake. Glass lets it fly and misses. And it's Wilson with the rebound. Froling. And the bucket is good. Three-pointer. Pepper's knocked down a couple now, and that is a shot across the bows. Australia's starting to heat up. And Guam calling a timeout. 32-27, the Boomers reacting well after that last timeout. You got to do it over 40 minutes.
Thunder. All right. Let's play that two-man game. Tag, you're gonna play the one right now. So you got a two-man game. So John, you want to attack middle, or you can dribble out, GHO, or just pass it back out, relocate, come and set on ball. Weak side, get ready to cut then, or spot up. I feel like we're going to get a kick out. We've been getting these kick outs, good pump fake Joe. That's going to come. All right, so let's execute this next offensive possession. Keep battling the defensive board. All right, let's go. Great job, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Go. Defense. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Yeah.
Elijah bringing a little bit of pep to the team with his scoring. Elijah Pepper with 8 points, 11 points for Froling, along with 8 rebounds. Froling could have a monster game today. Last pass, knocked away, gets it back. And nice dump, and there it is. Nice finish for Ben Borja after the feed from Freeman. Good work down low, finished off by Nick Kay. That was Isaac White getting the dime. Freeman missing it from deep. Three-point look, and Elijah Pepper. Somebody's got to guard him. 37-29. Suddenly, Australia start to open it up a little bit. Tony Simon. He gets free. He puts it up, and that was short. Ball went off of Galloway's hands, and here comes the Boomers. Pepper again, open. Yes! Well, they've got Pepper, they've got Rain Smith, who can rein in some three-pointers as well. And all of a sudden, it is an 11-point lead for Australia. It can happen very quickly. Nice pass. Galloway goes to the left hand. Simon trying to follow, does not. And there is the bucket. And all of a sudden, Wilson's layup makes it a 13-point lead for Australia. And again, another miss from Ben Borja, but they follow and they get the bucket finally. Stops the rock, but it's still an 11-point lead for the Boomers. We're 2 minutes in. Here is a three-pointer, and Simon skies for the rebound, then has it taken away, and the dunk from Jack White. Excellent play by Jack White, who's been doing the business for Mersin in Turkey this season. Borja, right idea, just sloppy pass. And it leads to an easy one. And another bucket for Pepper. Unselfish play by Isaac White. And the lead is 15. Freeman missing it from deep. Oh, and Blast reaches in and commits the foul on Wilson. Oh, it did not feel well. Did not feel good. Wilson doesn't react. Goes out of the game. Statman back in the game. Much better from the Boomers. Remember, they got a big one coming up against Philippines. Here's Jack White, and that three doesn't drop. And finally, Guam get it back down 15 points, 1:08 to go in this first half. Now, Guam they can't, for them, they have to play almost perfect basketball. They have to hope that Australia gets some misses, but they can't turn it over. They don't want to take bad shots. Need to make the free throws. It's all the basics. They've got to do all those things well and then some, and hope that Australia are not clicking, which was the case early on. But here's a nice drive, and nobody steps over in front of Freeman, who just basically does what he wants to do in this game. Look at that, 16 points for Freeman in the first half. And now the ball stolen by Freeman. Oh. I'd love to see a replay of that again. It looked like he was going to deliver a behind the back pass, but kept it. Watch this. Oh, yeah. He just dribbled behind his back. It looked like he was making that behind the back pass. He has got some moves. Here he is catching the inbounds. It's like his own little playground. Look at him. Getting in, and Jack White did a good job defensively on him that time, but it'll stay at this end. But if you're Guam, I think Freeman has earned the right to take some difficult shots. The way he's played, he hasn't played selfish basketball at all. Cruz gets it up just in time, tried to get a foul. He doesn't get it. Final seconds ticking off the clock. 3-point shot, no good, and there's the follow. Jack White looks at the ref, say, hey, I might have been hit on that, don't you think? Borja did a good job, though, of making his presence felt. Jack White not impressed. And that is it, 46-33. Australia lead Guam at halftime. Australia heating up a little bit from deep, 7 of 20, especially Pepper, 5 of 15 for Guam. Inside the arc, 2 more makes for Australia. So, rebounding advantage quite substantial for the Boomers, 30-19. 8 more assists as well. Pepper and Freeman each with 16 points. See David Barlow walking off the court there with really, Barlow played so many events for Australia. Froling has 11. Well, we look back at the second quarter best plays, and at this moment, Guam had it working. They were there, they were leading, and then Australia started to make some shots. Even so, when Australia gets into transition, usually good things happen. Krebs able to finish. Ferger taking the pass from B.J. Freeman, who makes it from deep. High arcing shot, and the kids loving what they're seeing. Freeman driving, Ferger hustling to the basketball, gets another chance. Jericho Cruz knocks it down. Australia kept playing. Wilson calming things down, making the 3. Australia running some offense. Pepper, and you can see one of his qualities is perimeter game. And that was a shot that kind of stopped the rot, but at this point, Australia had the wind in their sails. Pepper knocking down another 3, and then the turnover. Pepper in the open floor gets it to White, who then says, here, Elijah, you take this and increase your points tally.
Let's get this party started. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown.
Goes in for the dunk.
Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good.
Bogdanovich, who goes in and scores. Ah!
This is what it's all about.
It's all one big basketball family, folks.
Both teams over the limit.
You have got to be kidding me!
Prince spin move, good defense though. He kicks it out, and oh! Get that out of here! He says, not in my house. Al-Sumwalem with a huge block.
Justin. Oh, baby! One on Shesheni. Lutsen Chang tried to lob in the first half of Gilbert. Couldn't connect. And finally, the big man.
Oh, nice turn. Nice finish. Outstanding work from Darwish.
Thinks about recycling it, does. Menenga down the lane. Oh! For Menenga. 5,000 people on their feet.
Over 3 minutes. Oh, what a behind the back play. Kawamata. Oh, baby! Oh, Majide. The magic by Togashi. Finding Koya Kawamata. Incredible. Nagasaki Velka gets the app one. Well, sublime prime time dive and arigato Tomodachi.
Always have defenses as a steal. He's already hit a three, and why not reverse dunk and rock the house.
Abdul Kader takes it on the break, no look pass back to Ali Brahimi. Are you kidding me on the break? Terrific sequence for Iraq. Quite possibly the best of these Asian qualifiers.
Ibrahim, hesitation. Oh, nice flip and dish and finish by Ahmad Al-Dwiri. Again, the big man, 8 points.
Hickley mishandles. He's going to have to put the three up for the win. Oh! Wins it off the glass. Davo Hickley breaks the hearts of New Zealand again. The dagger to the heart in game day one. Off the window for the win. What a game. What a man at the moment. Davo Hickley mishandled, gets himself together and just strokes the three off the window.
Japan can have one final shot. There it is. It's up. Oh, Sugoi! Oh, Majide Baba Boom! Are you kidding me? Well, doesn't that give you memories of 2019? Japan has done this before. That is very similar to Rusei Shinoyama against Qatar in 2019 in the World Cup qualifiers. Are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
I'll go attack to close out. Feed Bruno inside.
Fills it up. It's all right.
Elijah Pepper getting it done, 16 points. Look at that, 4 threes. He's gotten up 9. So shooting at a 44% clip. Shots weren't really falling for Australia early on, but especially with Pepper finding his rhythm, or finding some rhythm, everything started to change. Selfish play from the Boomers, helping them surge ahead into a double-digit lead. Game had been very close. In fact, Guam We're leading in the second quarter. And no surprise, B.J. Freeman also leading the way with 16 points for Guam. 7 of 15 from the floor. 5 of 9 inside the arc. Freeman 2 of 6 from three-point range. So he can pretty much do it all. This was basically his world. We were just living in it there in that first half. For long stretches. And eventually, Australia might just kind of took over. I think as everybody expected to. I'm not sure how many expected Guam to be leading in the second quarter. And if they could come out, you know, be ready to go here at the start of the second half, make some plays, you know, try to keep this thing close going to the fourth quarter, and just see what happens if you're Guam. But it is an enormous task. Even on a bad day for Australia, it's very difficult for anybody to beat them. And not to say that it's been a bad day. It's, you know, it's the first game of the qualifiers. These guys, it's not like they've been playing together all year. They've come together for the window, searching for a little bit of rhythm. There is some continuity for some of these guys, but overall, you know, they're getting together. They're professionals. They know how to be coached up, how to run plays and everything else, but you still need time together to get that rhythm. Whether it's against a team like the Philippines, this game against Guam probably has come at a good time for Australia to get ready to face the Philippines. And everybody understands the history of Philippines and Australia with respect to the qualifiers, and how, you know, potentially that is going to be a very interesting game. We know that the Philippines have started well and are coming out and looking to qualify for the second round, and hopes are high. We know what basketball means to the people of the Philippines, so that's going to be a big game for them. But they've also got to take on New Zealand in this window due to the Philippines, and with New Zealand having lost twice to Australia, there is going to be a real sense of urgency for the Tall Blacks, or at least there should be going into that game. New Zealand, remember, they finished fourth, I think a disappointing fourth, at a very good FIBA Asia Cup. They felt like they were going to go in and get to the podium, and they lost to Iran in the third place game, did New Zealand. And that was a tough pill to swallow, losing twice to their Oceania rivals, Australia, in that last window. So B.J. Freeman has, I think, more than delivered, and you bring in a player like Freeman and it just makes it easier for everybody in the team. They just needed that bit of quality. You can see Guam to really give them, you know, to allow the other players to play with a little more freedom, a little more confidence. again, they're going up against the best team in Asia, really. So it's you have to keep things in perspective for Guam. Had they had Freeman in that last window against Philippines, they still might have lost twice, but I can tell you that they would not have been blown out as badly as they were in those games. So as it is right now, it's a 13-point deficit. Guam 0-2, going up against 2-0 Australia, who can punch their ticket for the second round with a win today. And if you didn't expect it, hey, look at that, scan in the QR code to get the FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers app in your smartphone, and you can follow this great window wherever you are. Certainly a great resource. Australia trying to get everybody on the same page here. Second half is underway between Guam and Australia. Australia with the opening possession. Now attacking the basket to the right on your screen, and Wilson drives in and gets a layup. Read that one well. To get it to Galloway down low, in difficult circumstances, not able to bring it in. Wilson with the Melbourne United team bringing up the floor. When he played in the AFL, he was with the Collingwood's VFL side back in 2021. Remember, had the mullet. Here is, doesn't have the mullet now. Here he is, getting it up from deep and missing. Now the three-point shot, no good. I know Brendan Joyce would have been excited to know that Tom Wilson was playing for Collingwood, former Australia player and coach of the women's team, and also an assistant coach for the men's team. There's a nice three-pointer from Borja. Makes it a 12-point game. Ooh. Pepper to the corner. The offensive rebound. And the putback. Kay. 14-point advantage. Wilson now 28 years of age. Guarding Simon. Galloway not on the same page there with Blass. And Galloway commits the foul. So Tanner Krebs going to the line for a couple of free throws. 30 years of age. She was born in Florida, Naples. Plays with Melbourne United, along with Isaac White, and one of the many Australians that played college basketball in America at St. Mary's. Must be a few Australian accents walking around that part of the world. So many have been there. Freeman. Biggest deficit of the game now, facing this team. 16 points. Glass gets it back to Simon. Shot clock winding down. Simon tries to fashion some space, gets it up. from the corner, and Elijah Pepper missing. Freeman sizes up his options. Oh, and Krebs knocks it away, goes out of bounds. Krebs, again, been with Melbourne United since 2023. Also played with Sandringham Sabres and Ringwood Hawks. For Melbourne, Gold Coast Rollers. Also spent some time with Brisbane Bullets. Three-point shot, you can count it. It's a good-looking release from Blass. And it's back to a 13-point deficit. And make some shots, make a couple of threes, make this interesting if you're Guam. Pass to the corner, Nick Kay, he's got it! Years of age, Nick Kay. There's a lob to Galloway, does a good job coming down with it, but then misses the shot with Froling nearby. Oh, and now the miss from Wilson, but Froling there to tap it in. Ben Borja lays it up. Oh, and it goes. It's the deficit back to 16. And if you count that three-pointer for the Boomers, the lead balloons now to 19 points, its biggest of the game. Australia doing some work here, extending their lead by 6 points here. Look at that, Froling, 13 and 10. That was inevitable. You already had a big number in the first half. Isaac White brings it up the floor. Isaac White keeps the dribble low. Dane Smith. Good job, Kay, knocking it back out for another 14. Here's a three-point shot. You can count it. Australia rolling now. They are rolling. Krebs with another three-pointer, and the lead is 22. Australia, that foot in the second round, which there was no doubt they were going to make it to the second round. The only question was before this campaign is how many wins were they going to get, and they've swept New Zealand, who you would have thought would have been their toughest opponents. But they've also still got 2 games to go against Philippines and 1 more against Guam. Galloway sits down. Mark Johnson into the game. Here's Takuma Simon, knocks down a 3. So Simon, Johnson can knock down threes. So Guam has some shooters out there right now. Berger also in the game. Ball goes out of bounds. You got Freeman, Simon, Johnson. All 3 of those guys can stretch the floor. Here's Johnson. Had to play a lot of minutes. Oh, at the FIBA Asia Cup, ball knocked out of his hands, and he gets inside and lays it up and in. Back to a 17-point deficit, 3-point shot. Krebs missing, and another chance. This time it's Isaac Africano, and he turns it over. And the foul will send the Boomers to the line. Jacob Holt in the game. Ferger reaches over and gets the ball, but gets the foul. So Krebs sits down. Years of age. Holt actually high school at Vancouver College in British Columbia, Canada. Played at Santa Clara, like another famous, like a famous Canadian name. You know, Steve Nash. Sacramento State. Left there just last year. Now with the Brisbane Bullets. Big talent. Signed a 3-year deal to play with Brisbane. Freeman gets it down low. Had the nice move, just didn't finish. And here's White, and White can go down and shows the elevation. Soaring through there, twisting, turning, finishing. Look at that. Former Duke captain not able to finish with the three-point play. And there's a foul. Freeman strokes the three right late in the shot clock and makes that deficit fall away a little bit, back down to 18. Good steal, good read by Freeman. Goes behind the back, shears. Oh, the rejection. I don't think anybody saw Cody Statman coming out there and swatting that one away. Crowd, the Boomers especially, taking notice. There's Freeman. Steps back, nice three. Well, turned out better for Guam because they're able to get to three, and that cuts it back to a 15-point deficit. Statman gets in, and he gets to the line. Cody Statman, just 25 years of age. Hometown Bentley Park, Australia. Misses both. See, Cody Statman played at UVA, interestingly. Tony Bennett. 2021-22 season was his freshman year. Holt sits down. So many Australians played in the American college game. So he arrived at Virginia just after Jack White graduated from Duke. Here's the handoff. It's a 15-point lead. Big opportunity here for Guam if they can get something. And look at that. Australia's defense knocks it away. White takes it down, misses, and now they don't get anything. Unusually, and now the pass intended for Galloway, and he is fouled. Guam have done just enough to stay in this game. They've been outscored a couple points in this third quarter, but you can feel right now in the players, what you're watching, this team believes it's got a chance. And some of the frontline guys are sitting on the bench. Some of the guys coming off the bench, getting it done. Look at that, Guam fans making some noise. And I dare say, if this Guam team had been at the FIBA Asia Cup last year, I think they would have had another win at least. Because they look a little more polished. So timeout on the court. Statman started at UVA in 2018-19 season and left in 2022. So went up against Jack White when their ACC teams played. UVA against Duke. Points. The deficit goes without saying. Important free throws, and Galloway makes the first. Galloway, now 29 years of age, hails from Brentwood, California. Makes both. But you see Irvine, 2015 to 2019. Since then, he's played in a lot of different places. Rain Smith missing it from deep, and look at that hustle, and it's gonna get a layup. It's gonna be a dunk for Galloway, and it's an 11-point deficit now for Guam. Very opportunistic. White drives in, gets rejected from Galloway. The three-pointer no good for the Boomers. Guam can get it back to single digits. B.J. Freeman goes between the legs, and he's fouled by White as he makes his move. Well, Galloway just took no prisoners with that swat. Look at this. Get this out of here. Definitely shaking things up here. I think a lot of people had already chalked up the W for Australia, but Guam showing some life. Freeman misses the free throw. He does make one of two, and it's back to a 10-point game. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but if it did happen, if Guam were to come back and win this game, the world would stop. Trust me, it would be unbelievable. It would send shockwaves across the international basketball landscape. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the way Guam are playing right now, it's just gotten interesting, and now almost had a steal. Krebs has it, knocks down to three. Because what happens is when you come back the way that Guam have come back, and you just start to get in the zone, and then crazy things start to happen. Nice pass outside, Ben Borja, he misses. Here's a three, no hesitation, and just like that, back-to-back threes by Krebs, I think puts to rest those comeback hopes. Lead goes back to 16 points. Takumi Simon feels the defense, gets it to Galloway. Nice bounce pass, Galloway. Nice play, Simon. Galloway's understands the basic principles of the give and go. We've seen that a few times. Very sound basketball player. Here's a shot from the corner. And again, Freeman with the rebound. They got to go quickly and doesn't get it off in time. But whatever you want to call this game, I'll tell you one thing. It was worth the price of admission for the fans that did show up, because Guam have really done themselves proud today against the best team in the Asia region. Australia lead at 73-59 over Guam with 10 minutes remaining. Well, there is hope. Borja making that one. In the Western Pacific, Guam, right next to the deepest part of the ocean, the Marianas Trench. Great spot for Australia to travel to. I'm sure the players enjoying coming all the way over here to visit. And I'm not sure they anticipated seeing Freeman in this Guam jersey, because he would not have been on any tapes that they would have looked at. And Galloway having his best quarter of basketball as well. Scanning the QR code. You want to play the Fantasy League? Highly recommend it. Tell you what, the World Cups, the FIBA Basketball World Cups, incredible tournaments to attend, to watch, to be a part of, but so are these qualifiers. Look at that steal from Pepper, and talk about a deflating turnover for Guam. That just can't happen. Great play by Pepper. So the lead goes back to 16. And nice play by Cruz. Looked like Galloway was going up for the lob. Cruz just decided to score himself. The race is on to see who's going to make the most threes for Australia today. Who is it going to be? Krebs, Pepper. And that ball knocked away from Kay. Here goes Freeman. Oh, and he gets blocked by by Kay. Great defense by Nick Kay. He's got too much pride to let that to get blocked and then hustle down and take care of business. So 5 of 9 is Krebs, 5 of 12 is Pepper. So they have got combined 10 of Australia's 12 threes. Good work down low by Sam. Not able to score. Sam Froling. Simon brings it across midcourt. Nice pass to Galloway. Galloway gets rid of it, no. And ball goes off of Takumi Simon out of bounds. Also went to Santa Clara University. Here's Krebs. Will it be? Yes, it is. He takes the lead in the three-point shootout. He's got 6. And the lead goes back to 17. Putting their heads together. Well, the big one really awaits. Even if Australia do go ahead and punch their ticket for the second round, obviously all results carry over to the second round. A step to the side, Simon missing. Shinshu Brave Warriors guard. Here's a handoff, and the bucket is good from Nick Kay running the floor. I think his hustle back on defense and block has really kind of laid to rest the Guam hopes of coming back and winning this game. Had they been able to convert on that opportunity. And now the ball knocked out of bounds. Definitely active out there, showing the skill, showing the talent. But Australia just have too much. 3-point look. That time Elijah Pepper off target. Nice handoff, and look at Galloway for the dunk, but unselfish play by Freeman. He really is. I mean, he just knows, he just makes the right plays. B.J. Freeman. Here's Pepper. Yeah, pump fake. Got Galloway off his feet. So Pepper going to the line. Both Wildcats, just 24 years of age. UC Davis got out in 2024. So Big West Player of the Year, in fact, in 2024. So huge reputation coming out of the American College game. And getting to play for the powerhouse club, Perth. Hails from Shepparton, Victoria. Pepper, both a dual citizen of the U.S. and Australia, in fact. Here is spinning, driving Borja. Wow. You can see why he's played some 3x3 for Guam. He's got some moves out there. And the bounce pass goes off of Pepper and out of bounds. Pepper's dad, Ryan, and Uncle Jason both played college basketball in America. And then played in Australia, albeit at state level. Pepper's dad's from the state of Washington. Freeman this time loses control of it, and up ahead it goes to White, who lays it up and in. .84-65. Simon from deep knocks it down. Well, for a game that Australia have a comfortable lead, 84-68, I have to say it has been very entertaining. Here's Elijah Pepper. Outside it goes to Krebs. My goodness, this is getting to be ridiculous now. 7 3-pointers for Krebs. Three-point shot. Simon this time off target. Now Wilson. And the ball's stolen by Freeman. He reads those passes well, doesn't he? Passes it back to Galloway. Galloway gets it over to Simon. And Simon knocks down the three. And that leads to a timeout. So with Freeman, again, making the right play. Galloway as well. Forcing the Boomers to call a timeout with a 16-point lead, but you get out, play the game the right way, and they're definitely doing a good job, this Guam team. Back to live action coming out of the timeout. Bounce pass. Oh! And Kay fouled. To go to the line. And I think that's a fortunate turn of events for him. Simon, not sure that he had much. Looked like he got too much of him as he drove in. Ball don't lie. He misses the first. And makes the second. Freeman has a double, needs to get rid of it, and well, I think as he went up, he may have caught Nick Kay where it hurts. Got him with the foot. Nick Kay's gonna have to walk it off. Watch, he kind of, oh yeah, oh my goodness. No basketball player wants to get hit right there. I think this is a good time for a timeout, to put it mildly. So again, it's been a, we talk about this Guam team and what they have, and they do have some players. Again, Freeman just makes all the difference. If somehow, some way, Ty Wesley were to play again and bring all of his experience and skill level to this team, this team would go up a notch. I'm sure that as he watches this game, he knows that. Jericho Cruz, high-level player, obviously. Takumi Simon playing in the Japanese B2 league with Shizuoka. I'm glad that Nick Kay can laugh about it now, because I'm sure he wasn't laughing at the time. BJ Freeman's very high level, Jonathan Galloway. So they've got the players. And again, just keep in mind, they're going up against the best team in Asia, the team that won the Asia Cup. Granted, it's not the same team that won the Asia Cup. They do have some players that are in that team. Here's Freeman, drives in, and gets to the line. Freeman makes all the difference in the world to this team. So hopefully he'll continue to play for this team. And let's get the ball to fall through the hoop. Probably the one area of his game where he hasn't excelled today at the free throw line. And gets both to go. Three-point shot. Krebs again. He's got 8. What a performance. As good as Freeman's been, I think Krebs has kind of stolen the limelight. Simon. Showing that skill level as well. Here they pass it around. Down low, and Galloway steals it away. Then he's fouled in the backcourt by White. So let's just look at this again. Tanner Krebs has literally set the world alight with his three-point shooting. 8 of 12 from three-point range. We're starting to get into potential record territory. Here is Borja losing it as he spins. Here's Krebs again, he's open, and I was surprised he missed that. That's where he's been making most of them. Nice sharing of the basketball. Africano goes outside to Johnson, and Johnson knocks down the 3. Good block by Fergerer. Highlight reel play. He's played well coming off the bench today. Freeman, look at this. 13 points down. Freeman has it. Drives in. And good defense. Good rim protection. Now White explodes up the court. Hands it off to White. And Isaac White, that would have been a nice White-to-White connection, but he didn't make it. And now the foul on Kay. 13 points separate these two teams, and I'm not going to be critical of Australia. I'm just going to say this is some shot making, some opportunistic play by this Guam team. They've had a couple of other opportunities where they haven't been able to get it done. Africano takes a seat. Jericho Cruz back in the game. Got to go quick, though. Here he is, Jericho Cruz. He makes the 3. Look at this, folks. It is a 10-point game. Oh, no. They gave him a 2. It's an 11-point game. traveling, stepped out of bounds. Krebs, 91-80. I think in many respects, this is, you know, national teams and coaches, they don't like to talk about moral victories, but I think from a fan standpoint, objectively speaking, this is a huge win for Guam, the way they have come out and competed against the Boomers today. Certainly if New Zealand are watching, they've been put on notice. Here's Freeman and Jack White with the rebound. By the way, did you see Jack White explode up the court? He is a lot faster than you realize on that previous possession. Terrific athlete. Here he is, catching the pass from Wilson, puts it up, and the former Collingwood man misses. And they scrap away for the basketball. McKay gets it back to Krebs. Minute 15 remaining. Here's White, Isaac White, drives in. Oh, that was slick, wasn't it? That was slick. I think we're going to call him Isaac Slick White after that drive. Here he is again. It's not an offer, so he'll just take it. Takes it from the left hand to the right hand. Years of age. There's so many players in this Australia team that you would love to have in your team. He hails Isaac White from Adelaide, played his college basketball at Stanford. So he's got a good head on his shoulders. It is phenomenal. I mean, you're talking about this Australia team not lacking for smarts with White going to Stanford, with White going to Duke, the white guys, the Whites, meaning Isaac White and Jack White. Pass around, shot clock about to expire. They got to go quickly here. Africano hands it off to Johnson, and, or no, excuse me, that was Michael Sakazaki. There's a foul. Isaac White did have a career-high 20 against my Tar Heels back in the day, 2017. Anyway, final 35 seconds to go, remaining. 93-80, Australia on top of Guam. Mark Johnson, guarded by White. It's over to Sakazaki. There's Africano. Lets it fly from deep. And was on target, wanted to get those points. And we'll see if Australia just hold it up here. I would let Krebs shoot a three, see if he can get to 9, but that's not going to happen. What a game, folks. Thoroughly enjoyed watching this contest, and Australia really acquitted themselves well, but so did Guam. E.J. Calvo has to be proud of the effort, and I think sees maybe some hope in this performance. John really run the show for Australia today. It's Australia winning it, and again, classy act all the way around from both teams. 93 for Australia, 80 for Guam. Australia clinch their spot in the second round of the Asian qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. The numbers, 15 threes for Australia, 13 for Guam, so it was entertaining from that standpoint. 10 of 15 from the line for Australia. That was maybe the difference. 14 more rebounds, 6 more assists for Australia, 3 less turnovers. And Krebs with the game high 28 points, 23 for Pepper, Elijah Pepper, 13 for Froling, 25 for Freeman. For Guam led the way. Takumi Simon came out and shot the ball well. And Borja also did well. And I think you could take any one of these guys. I mean, they're, you know, you could put them into that team, into that World Cup team. And we will see who plays for the Boomers if they qualify for the World Cup. But you certainly wouldn't. There's EJ getting a kiss from the wife after the game, and his daughter giving him a high five. And Australia coming out and just clearly the pedigree international basketball. I honestly did not give Guam a chance to be anywhere close, as close as they finished today. It was just a great performance by Guam. And it all started with Freeman. Even though he turned it over there, his play just brought so much confidence to the team. That time he had the ball knocked out of his hands, and Wilson was able to catch it in the front court and lay it up and in. Simon, terrific. You need all hands on deck for Guam. You need guys to make shots, to play, not to make mistakes. And Fergerer came off the bench, I thought, and did a good job today. EJ Calvo, perhaps one of his proudest moments, I would think, or one of his most exciting moments for Guam, to be able to play like this against a team of the ilk of Australia. This is a great move right here. Look at this. Just so smooth. So the teams shake hands after the games, and again, you just never know what you're going to get in the World Cup qualifiers. You even get some lightsaber battles on the court after the game by the Guam fans. So 93-80, Australia winning over Guam, and again, Australia getting just an eye-poppingly good performance from Tanner Krebs. 28 points, 8 of 13 from deep. Guam did themselves proud, but it wasn't enough against Australia, who clinched their spot in the second round with the win.